Hello writers, I'm Karena from Spalmorum, and in this video I am not going to motivate you to write. Before you turn this off, I am not going to motivate you to write because it is impossible to motivate someone to do something that they don't fully want to do. The only thing that you can do is to try to help somebody to find their internal motivation and then to foster that motivation into action. And that's what I do for my writers in my Marin County writing group every week. I give them the inspiration and information that they need, and I foster their motivation into action so that they can go from aspiring writer to successful author. So one important thing to know about motivation is that it's very hard to get motivated if you can't see the end goal. What is it that you want? You need to not only think that you want something, because that's just planning. You need to feel that it is so important for you to have that thing and to be that thing that you will do whatever it takes to get there. It's the feeling that launches you into action. So what does that look like? Some of you might realize at the end of this video that you're not actually cut out to be a writer, and that is totally fine. We do not want you wasting your life pursuing something that is not meant for you. Find something else that fires you up, and I want to know about it. Comment down below and say, hey bitch, I don't want to be a writer, but I found out I want to be a biological sciences person, or I found out I want to deliver papers. I don't care what it is. I want you to be excited about it, excel at it, be motivated, wake up happy every day, and do it. For those of you who think you might want to be writers, let's see about this internal motivation, shall we? First of all, if you keep saying that you want to be a writer, but you just never really did it because there are just so many obstacles in your way, stop it. Obstacles are not the problem. Every single person who is successful had the same obstacles as you, or even different obstacles, maybe more obstacles. It's the way you deal with the obstacles that predicates your success. If you deal with the obstacles properly and you eliminate them the way that you can and should, that's when you'll be successful. If you let those obstacles just block your way and you just stop, you will never be successful. Sorry, but that's the hard truth. If you truly, in your deepest heart of hearts, think that you can't be a writer, that you don't have what it takes, stop right now. Just stop. Do not waste your time. It's going to make you miserable, because if you don't truly believe you can do this, and that's not the same as having doubts about your talent or about, everybody else being better than you. I mean, that happens to everybody. But if you truly think that you cannot do it, stop. Don't do it. Do something else that you feel that you are good at. It's hard enough to do anything successfully. At least think that you have a chance. Give yourself at least a head start. If, however, you think that you should be a writer just because people have told you you're good at it, or you think that you might be better at it than other people, that's not a good reason either. You're going to need a heck of a lot more than raw talent. You're going to need this motivation to keep you going. The better writers are not the writers who succeed necessarily. The writers who succeed are the ones who put in the work, the time, the energy, who built their platform, who tried to touch readers, who were in it for the right reasons. So just being talented isn't enough. If you are not going to put in the time, don't do it. If you think that you want return on investment, you want return on your time, writing's probably not the best thing for you. I mean, my God, just go do an hourly job where you can charge. Be a lawyer. You can charge by the hour. Hell, you can charge every 15 minutes. Do something hourly. Writing can be thankless, at least time-wise. I put in a ton of time into things that don't really show, at least not straight up front. Writing is research. It is background work. It is rewriting. It is editing. It is a ton of things that you spend a ton of time on and that aren't evident right there up front. And if that frustrates you to no end, and if that's something that you don't think you can deal with, stop right now. Do something else. If you are going into writing because you need money, you think you're going to write something and monetize it, you think you're going to write a screenplay and you're going to make a ton of money right now, don't do it. Getting paid is not guaranteed. If you keep doing the work, if you keep looking for the readers, if you keep producing compelling material, people will read your shit, people will buy your shit, you will make money, but it is not a guaranteed thing. If you want to make guaranteed money, drive an Uber. I'm telling you, there's some things that are guaranteed money, that you perform a task and you'll get the cash. Writing is not one of them, and if you're looking at it that way, don't do it. If you think there are shortcuts to writing success, don't do it. This is something that is a long-term project. And this is why motivation is so important. You need to keep your motivation sustained throughout a long period of thankless work before you start seeing results. So shortcuts, not happening. That person who succeeded after throwing out some random thing got picked up by Random House, if we're talking about random, and sold 1 million copies of their book without doing any work. If they exist, which I don't think they do, they are the exception to the rule, and that will not be you. And if it is, comment down below. I am happy to put you up there as my exception, and I'm happy it happened for you. The rest of us, that's not the way it works. Okay, now that I've made you feel all bad about the things that you that should make you want to quit, here are the things that should make you really excited about the fact that you are interested in being a writer. Writing is a way to take your power back. It is that one thing where you decide what you produce, you decide what you write. You are deciding the reality that you are creating through your words. It's magical. It's a super powerful, beautiful thing. The opportunity to touch readers, to maybe inspire them to do something amazing, that is such a gift, and that only comes through the creative fields such as writing or art or filmmaking. And I think writing is just the most dreamy one of the arts because it makes everybody have to use their imagination, and I just love it. I think it's really amazing. I think storytelling is the most important form of communication. It's what makes us understand each other. It's what binds us. It's what helps us make sense out of the chaos that is our world today. And so I think that we storytellers really are the superheroes. And I think it's really great. If you don't feel that way, maybe you should just ditch the old writing thing, but hopefully you will find meaning in your life like this. Writing also makes you experience things that much more deeply while you're doing your research or while you're observing things and looking at new ways of describing things. You experience life in such a more vivid fashion as a creative or as a writer who feels that they need to then explain what they see, what they feel, what they're experiencing. As a writer, you can work from any place at any time. Anytime is fine. If you wake up at 5 in the morning, you can be writing in bed, and that is totally okay. And I think that that is such freedom. The other great thing is that if you pursue your dream of being a writer and you really give it the entire try, you really absolutely do everything that you know you need to do to succeed, you will not have to wonder what if. And that in and of itself is an incredible gift. To do that thing that you set out to do, there's nothing better. So if you're now kind of convinced that writing is important and that this is what you want to do, also keep in mind that you will need to step out of your comfort zone. You will need to put yourself out there. You will need to keep learning the rest of your life. You will need to do research and stay current. You will need to reach out to people to be your platform, your readers, your sounding board, your community. You will need to market in some way, shape, or form. It does not happen anymore that some wonderful person will take on your book and sell it as if it were their own. That again is the exception, not the rule. You will need to redefine success and realize that success is not necessarily being a best-selling author like J.K. Rowling, that success is making progress every single day. Each reader is a new success for you. So keep in mind that success is not necessarily here. It's every step of the way can be a success, and you will learn to celebrate each one of those successes because that is what is going to keep you up and passionate and motivated. You will learn to give up the laziness and see the excuses for what they are, to see the obstacles as something that is surmountable and surpassable, because writing is going to be the thing that is the most important to you. Deciding to write is about making a choice. And so you will have to make the choice to give up some things, give up maybe some extra opportunities to make cash on the side, give up some social events, give up some financial rewards, give up some hours of the day. But you are making that choice, and the payoff, if you keep pushing through, can be huge. Following through on anything is a choice. Even if you decided today that you didn't want to write, you wanted to be an entrepreneur and you wanted to start a company, that is about following through too. 0.1% of the companies that are launched succeed. That's the same percentage of books that get finished, from the people who said they wanted to be an author to those who actually finished. Same percentage. And it all comes down to motivation and follow through. What if you fail? What if you fail? You're right back where you started. In fact, you're better off than when you started because you actually tried. You actually went there. You actually did something. You actually learned something. So failure is not happening if you follow through. Here's the one thing that I'm going to ask you to do. Here's the takeaway. Okay, if you've decided that you are motivated, you found your motivation, here's one thing that you can do each day. Forget the rule about writing a certain amount every day, that you have to sit in the same place and do the same thing. No. Each day, do at least one thing to further your writing career. Whether it takes you 5 minutes or 5 hours, I don't care. I'm not counting. This is all between you and the blank page and you and yourself. Try to do something to move yourself forward each day, whether it is furthering your writing platform by posting something on social media or interacting with a reader or going to the library and meeting some people or reading a book or doing some research or going to the bookstore and doing some market research and talking to people about what people are reading. Anything you do each day to further your writing career is a small form of success that I want you to celebrate, and that will feed your motivation. Each little triumph is going to feed that motivation, because when you're happy doing what is important to you, you are going to want to keep furthering that happiness by continuing your success and your action. That's it, you guys. I hope that this helped you to find some of that internal motivation. If you didn't subscribe yet, do it now. I will see you guys next week with a brand new video. Check out some of my other videos because they have a ton of information. And in the meantime, keep on writing.